Believe it or not, Manchester United's pursuit of De Jong was one of the summer window's longest transfer sagas. Erik Ten Hag confessed to the public that the Barcelona midfielder Frenkie de Jong would strengthen any squad in the world he finds himself in. He was seen by many as the key to Erik Ten Hag's rebuild of Manchester United. What is the reason Erik Ten Hag is pursuing De Jong? Well, we'll see, because in this video we will reveal why Erik Ten Hag never quit pursuing Frenkie de Jong. Let's get into it. De Jong was seen by many as one of the biggest talents in the world, and his move to Barcelona was truly deserved. He has a play style that is unlike other players. As a result, he belongs to a group of talented individuals who benefited from joining Ajax at a very young age. Frenkie de Jong made his Ajax debut on September 21, 2016. Out of all clubs, he made his official debut against Willem II in the Cup. After his official debut, Frenkie was called up to the squad on match days more and more often. He also saw greater action in the Cup and Europa League under Peter Bosz. Frenkie was completely promoted to the first team in the summer of 2017. The summer that followed was the worst in club history. Due to a disagreement in the technical heart, which is the board system introduced by Johan Cruyff, head coach Peter Bosz left Ajax. And soon after, Marcel Keizer was appointed as his replacement. Frenkie scored his first goal for Ajax during one of the season's last games, 2016 to 2017. Frenkie played in 26 games that season, 13 as a libero central defender. He performed admirably there, even though it was not his natural position. He could move the play, claim the ball, dribble into midfield and find the open guy, all of which he is doing better as a midfielder to date. Nevertheless, the season ended disastrously for Frenkie as well. He was injured in February and he missed the rest of the season. At the end of the 2017-2018 season, Frenkie could not play any matches, so he started the new season in good health. Despite interest from various clubs, he wanted to stay at Ajax because at that time, Erik Ten Hag was in charge, and because he saw great potential in him, so he kept a place for him in the starting 11. The same style of play that was displayed in libero was seen in him in the current season. He is a controlling midfielder. Frenkie positions himself low on the field to be free, then dribbles into midfield or attempts to find an open teammate. With his vision, he could pass the ball from anywhere to everywhere, and Ajax used that a lot to win matches. From the start, Erik Ten Hag knew Frenkie de Jong would be popular in the transfer window. So he said in an interview, "It's fantastic, especially for him. He now has the certainty to go to a beautiful club this summer. That is beautiful. For him, but also Ajax. As a trainer, I am of course also a little sad about it, because if you lose such a beautiful player, that is a pity. We have only been able to enjoy him for a short period, but luckily we will still have him here for the next couple of months. Barca is an excellent choice. The style of football fits him perfectly. The philosophy that prevails there also prevails here. His style fits well with it. We have created a position for him in midfield this season that does his qualities justice and lets him perform the best he can. We started to play a little differently to adapt to him, and he fulfills that role tremendously. You can see him grow more in every game. At Barca, he will also find his way automatically." The speculations about the midfielder became stronger by the week due to his excellent play in the Eredivisie, and in particular his debut in the UEFA Champions League against Ek. FC Barcelona, PSG and Manchester City expressed their interest, and Barcelona won the contest for his signing on January 23, 2019. To date, he has been performing well in the club. And since Erik Ten Hag left Ajax for Manchester United in April 2022, he spent the whole previous summer transfer window seeking De Jong's signature on the dotted lines. But De Jong chose to stay in La Liga due to a financial dispute with the management. Ten Hag was let down by his decision to stay at his dream club Barcelona, even though the La Liga giants made him feel unwanted, and hoped that his sale would help alleviate their well-documented financial woes. Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho made De Jong, 25, his top transfer target last summer, but failed to complete a deal despite the two European giants reaching a £56 million agreement in July. Barcelona's conditions has not changed, and they are still in desperate need of funds. Camp Nou officials have been advised that they will not be allowed to buy any new players this summer and will need to fund £178 million, which is good news for Ten Hag, who revealed his six-man transfer shortlist just to get De Jong. He knows the Netherlands midfielder well, having nurtured him early on in his career at Ajax and helped him develop into one of the most sought-after talents in Europe. Pep Guardiola was desperate to bring De Jong to Manchester City in 2019, He was seen as a typical Guardiola player. But it was Barcelona who won the race for one of the stars of Ajax after an incredible Champions League run, making it all the way to the semi-finals. Both he and Manchester United have remained confident that their top target will end up at Old Trafford, which is why they have continued to pursue him and ignored the outside noise. It's been a patient approach, but they would never have wasted so much of the window on one player, if not for the encouraging feedback they have received. They knew from the start that Barca wanted to sell, which was always the biggest hurdle. The size of the fee was the only issue. Barca valued him at £85 million, $102 million. Manchester United was determined to drive that figure down, and we're confident the Catalans need to sell, amid their financial struggles, and summer recruitment drive would work in their favour. As expected, Barca's stance softened. They were adamant they wanted to recoup the £67 million, $80 million they paid Ajax for De Jong. Manchester United continued to push back, again underlying their confidence in their negotiating position. After weeks of talks, a base figure of £55 million, $66 million was all but agreed upon. CEO Richard Arnold and Murtau flew out to Spain to reach a final breakthrough and succeeded. But peculiarly, the amount rose to £63 million, $74.5 million, with a further £8 million, $9.6 million in add-ons. Meanwhile, Ten Hag has other options to pick Jude Bellingham, because he is a big admirer of the English midfielder, who is expected to depart Borussia Dortmund soon following speculations of a big money move to Real Madrid, Liverpool or Manchester City. Erik Ten Hag also had interest in Ruben Neves, the Wolves midfielder who has long been admired by Manchester United, and he was generally anticipated to leave this summer. Yet a lack of genuine bids suggests that he will continue at Molineux. But if Manchester United were to firm up interest, they would be signing a player who is a proven Premier League performer. Apart from strengthening his midfield, Ten Hag wants to bring in a new striker to lead the charge at Old Trafford. Tottenham's Harry Kane and Napoli's Victor Osimhen are long-term objectives for United, as are Benfica's Gonçalo Ramos and Ajax's Mohamed Kudus, all of whom Ten Hag coached at Amsterdam. Frenkie de Jong is a good player and he adapts himself to every team he's playing in. He always pulls the game immediately to him. The combination of him and Busquets goes a long way in the midfield in Barcelona. For now, De Jong's name still appears to be at the top of Ten Hag's list because he believes he is the best partner for Casemiro at Manchester United. One big sticking point is that Barcelona is also on the rise, and De Jong has played an important part under Xavi this season. His performances in Catalonia have thrilled Xavi, who, unlike the Barcelona board, is unwilling to let De Jong go. But we see that Erik Ten Hag won't give up in trying to get De Jong to Manchester United. Have your say, should Manchester United still be trying to sign Frenkie de Jong? Join the debate in the comment section.